In the world of prepping, your first line of defense is always going to be your lighting. When the power goes out, do you want to rely on some kind of cheapo flashlight that you got in the 1980s? The technology has improved significantly since then. Let me show you the kind of flashlights that you really should be having in your lineup and the kind of flashlights that will light up your yard when you need it. All right, folks, welcome back to Prepping with Sarge. Today, I'm here to review the Powertac M5 G2. This is a great little EDC flashlight. Check out the size of this thing. But let's talk about the specs. Let's talk about the capabilities. Let's head on inside. It's a little bit warm today. All right, so Powertac sent this out to review. This is the second flashlight that I have reviewed for them. And let me show you real quick. This is the Valor. This was the other one, which I feel like is a good bedside lamp for bump in the night. I'm sorry, bedside flashlight for bump in the night. This is a really nice flashlight as well. I wrote a review for that. I did a video review for that, which I'll put somewhere up here. I'll drop it in the end cards as well, and also check links. I'll put a link to where you can get this one in the description. But thank you, Powertac. I'm enjoying these flashlights. You can tell immediately out of the box, they're extremely well built. They're very, very tough. It can take some drops, can take some submersion in water. This is what you're gonna get when you get it. You're gonna get your very nice boxing. All right, you got your specs on the side. We'll go over those in just a second. And you're gonna get a little, manual and some stickers in there. So check those out. Those are really cool, but let's get right into it. I know what you're here for. You want to know what this thing can do, right? Well, that's what we're going to do right now. So this is the M5 G2. This is a really nice size for EDC. So for those of you who like to carry a flashlight all the time, or maybe just when you're going out at nighttime, that's fine too. Or maybe you're going to throw it in your bug out bag or your get home bag or your hiking bag. This is a good choice for that because of its size to power ratio. Like, you're going to get a lot of flashlight for this size. There is a smaller one in their fleet, at least one smaller one that I know about, that I probably will review at some point down the future, but this is a good one. And for those of you who do the kind of work like you're crawling under basements and going into attics and things like that, you can't go wrong with this as a choice for your EDC flashlight. Let's talk a little bit about the brightness first, and then I'm going to show you a little video of what that looks like outside in the dark. So we have 5 levels of brightness. Okay, whoops. So you got a tail. For tactical purposes, some people, including myself, like this end cap, okay? And the reason is if you're clearing your house from a bump in the night, that kind of thing, you can do some stuff where one hand is the flashlight, one hand is on your self-defense item, whatever you choose for that. So it's got some good purposes for that. I'm not going to go into that, but if you're looking for that kind of stuff, just let me know in comments. I'll try to refer you to a video that will showcase that a little bit better than I can. All right, so this is your Firefly mode. As you can see, this is going to be probably fine for reading in the dark, that kind of thing. And it's very, very low. This is 0.5 lumens, and it will run at this rate for a whopping 35 days, folks, when it's fully charged, okay? 35 days. Now, let's go up to the next mode. Now, to change your mode, you're going to use this button up here. So this is now, okay, that's low. That's 65 lumens. Now, that is going to be, I usually tell people my minimum standard for inside the house for a flashlight is I want 90 lumens. This will do the trick. This is 65. This is going to light up every room, your hallway. Unless your house is like a giant cathedral, this is going to do the trick for all your power outage needs. And that's going to run at 65 lumens for 23.3 hours before it needs a recharge. Let's go to the next level up. All right, 260 lumens. Now, this is what I probably will leave it set at for myself, and that will run at that for 5.15 hours before it needs a recharge. Now, what I want you to know about this is more than double what I recommend for your security flashlights. Our minimum recommendation is 90 lumens. This is 260 lumens. This is going to light up your yard just fine. So you got a bump in the night, you want to check out the backyard, dogs out there taking forever, something like that. This is all you're going to need. Now, when I mean by leave it set on, when you click off this tail cap, it's going to remember your last mode that you were in, okay? Great feature for any kind of tactical flashlight. So that's your 265. As I click it back on, it immediately is going to go back to whatever I last left it on, okay? Now let's go up to high. High is 850. All right, and it's hard to tell inside how much brighter that is, but I'm going to show you outside in just a minute. Now it'll run on 850 lumens for 2.9 hours, and then there's one mode up from that. Okay, and that's turbo. Again, I'll show you that outside. You'll be able to tell better. Turbo is a whopping 2,030 lumens. It'll run at that rate for 2.65 hours. What I need to tell you is that yes, this flashlight does have good heat dispersion, but any flashlight at that level of lumens is going to get warm. And as I'm sitting here holding it, it's starting to get warm, right? So I wouldn't leave this running on turbo for 2.65 hours. That's just what the battery is capable of. That's just what the battery is capable of for that level of lumens, right? But again, it's warm, it's not hot. There's another brand of flashlights that can do these kind of capabilities as well, that gets hot, in my opinion, faster than this. But it's comfortable to the hand. I mean, it's not like hot, like scalding hot. The longer I leave it at that, it is going to eventually get warmer and warmer. Okay, so that's 265. I'm sorry, that's 2,030 lumens. All right, let's take this thing outside. Before I do that, I want to tell you a couple more things about the lighting with this one. Let's click down here. Let's go back to Firefly. All right, so that's Firefly mode. This thing has 330 meter throw with beam intensity of up to 27,225 candela. So candela is what is usually used. Let's go one more mode here. Candela is usually used when you're, that has to do more so with the throw. How far will your beam go, okay? And 27,225 is more than you're gonna need for your property. Let's go outside. Let me show you what this thing can do outside. All right, folks, I'm in my backyard here, and this is it. The flashlight is currently on Firefly mode, and you can see, you can't really see too much. If I put it in front of you, you get an idea there. We're gonna take you down now. So where I'm gonna point is an outbuilding out here, and see if I can go up the scale. Dang, it's dark out. Okay, so we're gonna go, this is first mode. All right, and that, see that building right there? The light's just catching it. That's about 25 yards away. All right, second mode. Now that lights up the backyard pretty good. All right, and 3. Actually, this is 4 because Firefly is the first mode. And I think there's one more. Nope, I'm sorry. All right, so that's actually second mode there because it defaulted to Firefly. 3. Okay, and that's the highest mode there. All right, now I'm gonna show you strobe light here too. So it's just gonna give you a strobe warning. Hang on one second. All right. And then you can, one click of the button, it goes right back to regular mode, whatever. Right now I'm in like the turbo mode. All right, now up here, straight ahead, right about in the middle of the camera is a stop sign. It's about 100 yards away. Now I turned the light off in turbo mode, so when I turn it back on, it should immediately default to turbo mode. And there's the stop sign, all right? Just gives you an idea. I'll cycle it back down here. Okay, cycling it back down. So that's Firefly mode. That's one mode up, and you can still see it's giving me a little bit of light. That's not bad. This is the third mode up, and this is the one that I probably would leave mine on to default to when I turn it on. And that's turbo. All right, so a couple more things I want to tell you about this. It is aircraft aluminum, and it is the tempered glass. So this will take approximately a 2-meter impact resistance. So what that means is if you drop it on concrete from your standing position, you're probably going to be fine unless you take some really wonky kind of hit directly on the glass, and even then it should be able to handle most situations. It has a lifetime warranty. This was designed with military and law enforcement applications in mind, but you as a civilian are allowed to own this, of course. Again, you can do, let me show you a couple other features with this. So right now it is on, I believe low is what I have it on right now. Actually, let's just cycle through it and let's go to medium. So, all right, I think that's medium, that's high, that's turbo. All right, so that's turbo, sorry. Okay, so let's go back down. So that's Firefly, low, medium. Okay, so let's go with medium, right? So there's a couple things I want to show you. You can do, I'm going to click it off on the end cap, right? And you can do continuous, or I can do momentary. Okay, so that has some tactical applications when you, again, if you're clearing a room or clearing a house, you're doing your slicing your pie and all your fancy techniques like that. So if you want to kind of control the lighting, you can pop into a room, do a quick burst, check the room, shut it off, right? And that's some examples of how you might use that. So it has continuous or momentary. We do have, of course, a strobe feature as well. And let me show you that. So we're going to go on continuous now. This is your strobe warning again. So if you're sensitive to light strobing, look away for just a few seconds here, and we're going to go in 3, 2, 1. All right. And that can be used to disorient people. Again, has some tactical applications in your house. If you're checking that bump in the night, okay, I can shut it off, and now watch. I turn it back on, it's immediately into strobe. So you can use that to kind of disorient if somebody had broken into your house in the middle of the night, okay? Let's get off strobe here in just a second. Bear with me one more second. All right, so let's get off of strobe here. Now to exit out of strobe, all you're gonna do is I'm just gonna click it again, one time. All right, we're back to medium. Now that did make it a little bit warm, but we've been running this flashlight doing all kinds of different things with it. It's not hot. There's no pain or anything like that. It's just warm. And these high-powered flashlights are going to do that. They're going to get warm because the capabilities of this far exceed anything, the flashlights that you might have grown up with if you grew up in the 80s and 90s or 70s. The way that they build these are so much better. If you're using old flashlights in your fleet and you're a prepper, this should be, again, I always encourage people to work within your budget. Don't spend money that you don't have. But upgrading your flashlights after you've taken care of your food security issues is not a bad thing to spend your money on as a prepper. It has really nice gripping, so if your hands get a little bit sweaty, you're probably going to have some pretty good gripping on there, and it feels really nice in your hands there. Got a little bit of bevel edging there. It's not sharp to the touch, but obviously if you had to use this as a melee weapon, there's some applications for that as well. It is water resistant up to IPX8, so basically about 2 meters worth of submersion. The length of this is 124 millimeters. The bezel is 25.4 millimeters. The body is 23 millimeters, and the total weight without the battery in it is 65 grams. Now let me show you one more feature on this. Okay, one more feature on this. It comes with a magnetic USB charging cable. Why is that a good thing for a prepper? Okay, so see, as you can see, it grabbed right on. And you can charge that, of course, off your wall. You do need the little cube plug, which I've got tons and tons of those around my house. I can charge this directly off my solar panels, actually. I could charge this off of my solar generator. I could charge this off a simple power bank. All right, so what do I mean by that? So this is a solar power bank, okay? And this is if you've been watching my channel for a while, I recommend that you have multiple of these around as a prepper. But before every power outage, we charge up all of our power banks, all of them. And that usually will get us by for the duration of the power outage, which here in South Carolina can go on for quite a while. So what I could do here is, sorry, I know the camera angle is not great. There we go. What I can do here is when the power goes out, and I've been using my flashlight a lot more, I can charge this right off of that, okay? So power can be out. I guarantee you in our household, and there you can see it's charging, a cool red light, basically like Sith red for you Star Wars fans. I can charge this I could charge all my stuff up before the power outage, and then as soon as this runs down, I've got so many of these things that I can keep charging. Like I'm basically never gonna run out of light power. And with my solar panels, that's one of the security features that we have covered here. And remember, your lighting should be your first line of security as a prepper, right? Before you even think about, pew 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 or other things, you want to be thinking about your lighting, because lighting will deter a lot of the people out there with malintent, especially during power outages here in hurricane country. We have, after the power goes out, and they do these things called quote unquote mandatory evacuations. They're not really mandatory, but they'll say that here in my area. And people who stay, you have some people who stay with nefarious intent. They're looking around for houses that have been evacuated, and they can walk right in if the power's off, because the security features in the house have probably been disabled. So being able to light up your property, and this is one of the first things we do when the power goes out, is we light it up. It lets everybody know their occupants are home. Lighting is your first line of security. Okay, remember that. So once again, this is the M5 G2 from Powertac. I will be reviewing more of their flashlights in the future. If you use coupon code SARGE, you will get 15% off on your purchases at powertac.com. And that is, let me show you the spelling of that. There's your powertac.com. All right. Appreciate you all. All right, and that's going to do it for today. If you're brand new to the channel, please consider subscribing. I drop videos at least twice a week. On Friday nights, I usually go live with a Friday night prepper pre-party live stream at 7:45 Eastern Standard Time. I'd love to have you join me for that. I love meeting the audience. I always keep that very interactive. It'd be great to meet you. If you're returning to the channel, thank you so much. Please consider giving me a like if you've enjoyed this video. Also, check out down in the description down below. I drop all kinds of links with discount codes to products that I think you will like. Keep planting your seeds, keep stacking your silver. This is Prepping with Sarge.
Making him go poop while trying to prevent him from going after that damn deer. Come here. Come here, boy. Hawk, come. Come. Good boy.